Hey, we're here with Charles Cannon of the Cannon Financial Group. Charles, good evening. We're going to do a series of these, and it's very important information. And tonight we're going to talk about something that people start talking about sometimes too late, and it's called retirement.
That's right, Greg. And there's a great new movie that just came out called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. It's in over 100 theaters nationwide. And here at Cannon Financial Group, we're sponsoring it for people so that they can see the movie, and we'll send it directly to them.
And that is a pretty sharp deal. And it's also free, correct?
That's right. It's free. There's no obligation whatsoever. We're doing it in the spirit of financial awareness and financial literacy, because as you said, people don't talk about it enough. In fact, there's been studies that show that people spend more time planning their next vacation than they do planning their retirement. And so go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so in the spirit of financial literacy, we're sponsoring a free streaming service that will bring the movie right into your homes.
And of course, I've watched the movie, and it's not just a movie, it is information that anyone would be able to look at, understand, and most important, need.
Yeah, that's right. It's a documentary, and it's been rated PG by the Motion Picture Association. And what's so important about that is that, thousands of films are made every year that they might be trying to sell you a product or something like that. The Motion Picture Association will not rate a film that doesn't play it right down the middle. And so this is an informational documentary. It's done by a really great filmmaker named Doug Orchard. And he wanted to look into four main things. He wanted to look into the Social Security system. He wanted to look into pensions. He wanted to look into 401k, and he wanted to look into annuities. And he explores all four of those areas with the help of some of the biggest names, PhDs and economists in the world of retirement planning.
Charles, you're obviously an expert in the field. You've been in it a long time. You've seen a lot of different situations. What is the biggest mistake people make in regard to their retirement?
Well, the number one thing that the movie is going to take a look at is, how do you turn your assets into income when you're ready to retire? And how do you do that and not risk losing them? And so in my business, I've done a lot of 401k work for companies. And one of the first big 401ks that I ever took over for a company, the controller pulled me in and he said, we fund our non-union employees just as much as we do the union employees, even though we don't have to. But in our business, it's important that they're able to retire when they're 60 years old, because by then it's too hard for them to do the work. And so you have to make sure they don't lose their money, because we can't hire them back.
Yes, very interesting statement there and factual information. When you're advising people, what do you think is something that they kind of still miss at near the retirement age of their life? And they're going to be able to see this on this movie, but in 20 seconds, what is something they really miss?
Well, the number one thing is that, especially in today's 401k world, you're kind of trained that all you have to do is get a high average return on your assets. But that doesn't really help you as much when you're taking money out of your 401k, because an average return, if the sequence of those average returns go against you, you might end up with a lesser retirement than you would have had otherwise. And so the movie's going to look into that, and you really should see the movie first and then start to wonder about what are some of the things that you can do to help avoid some of those pitfalls.
When you first looked at this movie, what was the most important thing you got out of it?
Well, what was great for me is I've read a lot of the papers that have been submitted by a lot of these PhDs. And so it was like a chance to meet them personally. And it's a lot more understandable when you see them talk than if you're reading a paper maybe that they've submitted to the Harvard Journal or something like that, that's at their scholastic level. And so the great thing about the movie is that even though they're some of the smartest people that are out there, that are PhDs in economics or economists, even though they're some of the smartest people, they can still bring home the message in a way that anybody can understand and apply to their own retirement.
Is this a fair statement? No matter when you retire, things are not going to get cheaper as you go along.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. And we've seen some pretty high rise in prices here in the last year or so.
Yes, we have in inflation, and it, you know, I would hope that would get people's attention. If that didn't, this movie definitely will.
Right. Well, income taxes and inflation are three of the things people want to talk about. And one of my favorite PhDs in the movie is Dr. David Babel from the Wharton College. And when you ask for us to send you the movie, not only do you get the movie, but you get another 9 extended interviews. And one of those interviews is with Dr. Babel. And he explains how he uses annuities, not only for to make sure that he gets income, but he battles inflation with them also. And it's really, really enlightening.
Okay, we've talked a lot about what people need to do. We're also going to show a graphic, correct?
That's right. And so I'll just bring up here, where can you go to get your copy of the movie? And you come right here to my website, which is www.canonfg.com/boomer. That's because it's the Boomer movie. And on the website right there is, first, there's the 2.5-minute trailer. And so, you know, anytime we're thinking about what movie do I want to see, people go online and look at the trailer. So I invite you onto the website, look at the trailer, and see if it's something that's of interest to you. And also on there is the picture interspersed with the documentary style interviews is a dramatization of what some families may be facing. And you can see the face of the actress for one of the families right there. And then all you have to do is fill in the information right there on the site, and we will send you a download code, and you're going to own the movie forever. You can watch it over and over, and you get the additional 9 interviews also.
Give that website again, please, and the slash, which is so important nowadays, how to get the movie.
Right. It's www.canonfg.com/boomer.
And this has kind of been, it's not something that has just been thrown out there, as you said. So well developed, the movie, rated PG, and so informative.
Yeah, Greg, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about it, because I really think that this could really help people with their retirement literacy and their retirement awareness. And it's the most important thing that the most of us face.
And we're going to come back in about 3 nights, Charles, and we're going to talk more in depth. If people have questions, they can get a hold of you. They can get a hold of me. Gregory Crawford Speaks at gmail.com. That's once again one word, Gregory Crawford Speaks at gmail.com. I'll turn that over to Charles. He'll answer your questions. It's a service that is so needed, and you will not be sorry that you're using it.
Right. And Greg, you know, people can also go into the comments section there where you're posting this video. And if they just put questions in there, I'm sure the next time we talk, you'd be happy to ask them for them.
Absolutely. And great job tonight. And as we leave, I always say, what's our takeaway from tonight? What do you think is the biggest issue that people need to understand that are watching this?
Hey, no one cares about your own retirement as much as you do. And so take the time and watch the movie. And then once you've learned a little bit, then it can help shape your retirement for the better.
Absolutely. Have a nice evening. Charles Cannon, And once again, in doing a lot of these, you can never say it enough. Give out that website.
Right. It's www.cannonfg.com/boomer.
And Cannon is CANNON.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. All right. Easy to find, easy website. Great job tonight, Charles. We'll be back in a few days and we'll have this posted, and you always are available to answer people's questions.
Anyone can reach out to me directly off the website. But the main thing for tonight is let's see the movie and move toward a great retirement.
Tremendous. Good night, everyone. Good night, Charles. Great job tonight. So informative. And we're here to help people. And definitely we got a great start tonight.
Thanks for getting out the word, Greg. Good night.
You bet.